So I did my presentation on binge watching. So I was doing some reading and research to get an educational opinion on if binge watching is healthy or unhealthy. Um, because we all know it's a new cultural thing that is became a new thing with streaming, watching, Netflix, Disney Plus. You're able to watch a whole season within a matter of a couple of days because the whole season is put up there, especially on Netflix. So this new cultural thing, which is binge watching, um, and how it is contributing to our health. Um, so I was looking at the health risk of um, binge watching. So what I found was that you may not notice how binge watching affects your health over time. Some of the consequences raised by researchers include decreasing of physical activity, sleep problems, fatigue, blood clogs, heart problems, poor diet, social isolation, behavioral addiction, and cognitive decline. So when you're thinking about, say you're sitting on the couch and you're watching a series, each episode's close to 30 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, especially if you're watching it on Netflix and it says that it's a 30 or 45-minute show. It's a straight 45-minute show because there's no commercials in between. You're not getting up or down. You're literally sitting there or you're laying there watching these shows for long periods of time. I got some great information from the Washington Post article written by Gina Bridge. Miss Bridge talks about how the effects of binge watching has on people. Miss Bridge also stated that binge watching most likely will affect cardiovascular system, our vision, your socialization, also sleeping patterns, all of which can be led to other problems. And like I said before, previously in the sleeping patterns, because you're staying up. Say you decided to watch a show, it's your day off. You're staying up from whenever time you started the show to whenever the season ends, continuously watching the show or the series. There was a study done in 2018 by a couple of scientists. The study showed that, or they looked at the prolonged sitting the prolonged sitting down can increase your risk of developing conditions such as deep vein thrombosis, which means that you can get, how you see those dark veins on people's legs. That's because they're sitting in a certain position for a long period of time, stopping blood flow to that part of their leg, or those veins. Blood clots, because once again they say the same thing when you get on an airplane. You shouldn't be sitting for long periods of time, because sitting for long periods of time with your legs at a certain angle could lead to blood clogs, because you're stopping circulation, or you're not having enough circulation to those limbs. Once again they stated in here, it's just the lack of not traveling or not moving around enough, so that your heart and lungs can get the proper blood flow that they need. Also binge watching, once again, it limits the physical activity that you would have on a normal basis. Also another scientist, a neuroscientist, looked at it. He basically did it on an experiment on himself, which is he watched a show for a long extent of time. That show, he noticed that he had lost a lot of sleep. His sleeping patterns were off. He was lack of sleep, and it was really hard for him to get back on those routines. Once again, binge watching, it's great when you are, you're really interested in the show, but it's not healthy for your overall health. Also, one thing that also contributes to binge watching is it takes the fun out of watching a show. I mean, you're because you're watching a full season in one day, and back in the day, or if you have cable and you don't have these streaming apps, you're used to watching episode from week to week, getting anticipation, kind of keeping that brain flow, your brain thinking and constant thoughts of what could possibly happen. Kind of just recall on what the episode was like to kind of think of things that would possibly happen in the next episode coming up. The conclusion that I came up with, that I was drawn to, is that binge watching isn't healthy, that it causes physical health to decline, like your physical health to decline. It also takes away from your enjoyment of just watching a show and enjoying that time. That Monday show, that Monday morning show, or that Monday night show, and just waiting until that following Monday, leading up, that kind of anticipation. I know that contributes a lot to your happiness and excitement. Once again, like I said, binge watching, is fun and it's cool and it's exciting because you don't have to wait. But also, you also have to think about the health and all well-being of yourself. If you're sitting here binge watching, you're not getting out, you're not socializing with people in your environment, you're not kind of paying attention to the people that are there in front of you, you're kind of just super focused on finishing the season, and there's no communication between you and maybe the person that you're been watching these shows with, because the constant communication that you have with your friends. If you watch a show on Friday, you guys are engaging, you guys are talking about it, phone calls, you guys are going to lunch talking about what you guys saw that following week. All those interactions, those space interactions, are also due to your physical health, your mental health. It's not very healthy to just sit at home and watch TV all day. Once again, just like we were doing our discussion this week when they were talking about, basically, has binge watching became a way of being a couch potato, and that's totally basically the information that I received, because what is a couch potato? It's somebody that's not eating right. Somebody's just laying on the couch, sitting on the couch, just watching TV on consecutive basis. They're not really getting out, enjoying the fresh air, socializing with others. They're just kind of focused just on TV. And that does contribute to a lot of the unhealthy things that come with that.